friends, what's up? How's it going? You get a twofer in today's video. I read books 5 and 6 in a series, and so the way they're written, and it's funny because I actually just recently read a series that was written this way as well. The way the author has written them, they're basically like little duets that are all part of the greater series. It is the Dark Love series by Masen. I've done videos on all 4 books. Today we're talking about books 5 and 6, Chasing Fate and Chasing Heartbreak. Okay, you guys, I was so freaking excited to get back to the series. I read Chasing Her and Chasing Him, I think a year ago. So it's taken me that long to get back to them. If you remember, the first 2 books are about Lex and Charlie. Then 3 and 4 are about Julian and Adriana. And then we have 5 and 6, which are Kate and Noah. Kate, I could not wait to get more about Kate. Kate's my girl. Kate's our girl, right? We all love Kate. Noah, I was like, I'm not sure you're good enough for Kate. I'm not sure I'm gonna like you with Kate. But I knew that that was the other part to this duet. I knew it was Kate and him. Books 5 and 6 about Kate and Noah are Chasing Fate and Chasing Heartbreak. Crap. Chasing Heartbreak. I don't want it. But in any case, book 5 starts out. The thing that was great is that so interesting the way Kat did it. We get both Noah and Kate's perspectives in these books. Some are a little, like this one was a little bit more Kate in the beginning and then Noah. And then surprisingly, book 6 was a lot of Kate and then the both of them. I really liked that. It wasn't just one singular point of view through either of these books, which kept my mind engaged really well. Book 5 starts with the most perfect poem that Kat included. And when I went back and was preparing for the video, I was like, it was right there. I just loved it and I'd like to share it with you. Sometimes being a friend means mastering the art of timing. There is a time for silence, a time to let go and allow other people to hurl themselves into their destiny, and a time to prepare to pick up the pieces when it's all over. And that's by Gloria Naylor. I always love getting that extra part sometimes that authors do. It showed me the connection that Kat had to this story. I love when they include playlists and other just media almost, if that's the right word. So that was really special to me and really set the frame for the book. A little background on Kate. She is Lex's right-hand woman. I adored her in the previous books. She is a career woman. She has a ton of responsibility. Lex believes in her. They have a good friendship. He's her mentor. They have a very special relationship. And of course, we know that her and Charlie organically met each other separate from Lex and developed a friendship. Kate is English. She kind of heads up Lex's, I can't remember what it's called now, but corporation over in Europe. She comes to the west coast of the US where Lex and Charlie now live to visit. She spends weeks at a time there. She is part of the family. I loved being back with these characters. To read where Lex and Charlie are in their lives, I just adored the way Kat writes the books. They're kind of they run parallel to each other in some ways. They are intermixed. I'm talking with my hands a lot today. It's probably distracting. I'm very passionate when I talk with my hands. But I love the way they were intertwined, and the more you read in the series, you realize how that happens. Not overwhelmingly so, but you pick up on little things. So I loved seeing where Lex and Charlie were at that point in their life. We do get to hear about Adriana and Julian. It was like warm fuzzies when those parts would come up. Even Eric. was still as funny as he was in the previous books. He made me laugh. The book starts out, chapter 1, Kate is plugging away. She is a woman about the world. She has the world at her feet. She's successful. She's continued to be driven. She's got money. She's got the apartment. She's got the life. She has the lifestyle. What's missing is somebody to share time with, to have that other person that's just for her in her life. She does meet Mr. Mysterious, Dominic. I held my breath a little bit about him because I wasn't sure where he was gonna fit in. I'm like, okay, who's this dude? So we figure out kind of where Kate is in life, and then here comes Noah. I'm like, okay, Noah, what's up with you? Like, what's going on with you? How are you fitting in here? Noah is a playboy, we know that. But the interesting thing is that all of a sudden he finds himself in a rather precarious situation and he needs to get out of Dodge. So he picks up and moves to the West Coast. He's from the East Coast, to the West Coast, and moves in with Charlie and Lex because, of course, Charlie and Noah are cousins. They're tight. They're good friends and cousins. They welcome him with open arms. He's going to kind of start his life over on the West Coast. He's embraced into Charlie and Lex's home, and in walks Kate. And Charlie's like, no, Noah, no, leave her alone. But of course they hit it off. They're both at kind of similar places in their lives. Noah's hot, Kate's hot. They immediately bond, start spending time together. They are attracted to each other. They kind of try to feel that out a little bit, but they're interrupted and they just kind of decide, like, we're better off as friends. They really do bond pretty deeply though, and they have a connection that neither one of them has experienced of the opposite sex in their lives. Yes, there's all this bubbling chemistry. There's also this deep understanding when they look in each other's eyes. They get each other. This is from Kate's perspective. We sit side by side as I lace my arm into his to block myself from the sea breeze knocking the carriage about. Holding on to him feels comfortable, and unlike other men I've been around, he never makes me feel uncomfortable when our bodies touch. Perhaps our misadventures that first night broke all the tension between us. Though funnily enough, Noah and I never feel any tension. The two of us just gel. And then a little bit later on, I'm not cut out to fall in love. I just want to have a good time. Noah's honesty is very forthcoming, and what makes our friendship unique. In his presence, I feel my complete self without the lies I often tell to please everyone. Eric is great, but his immaturity at times becomes too much for me. I crave a real man by my side and not necessarily someone I need to F or marry. Despite our closer relationship now, Lex will always be my mentor. I rely on him to educate me, teach me how to succeed. We have a professional relationship as well as a personal friendship that took years in the making. Even if Charlie wasn't in the picture, he isn't the type of guy I'd sit around the couch with and watch movies with an oversized tub of popcorn. However, in the boardroom, there's no one else I would rather be with. Yet with Noah, there's this feeling of completeness between us, like I've known him my whole life when, in fact, it's been 2 weeks. Kat builds the tension and their relationship so well that I was kind of confused. Because then all of a sudden, and the story turns, and I was like, oh, but wait a second. Wait, what are we doing here? The book shifts to more of Noah, and I went with it, but I kept thinking back to Kate. And I was like, what is going on here? I was like, wait, what? What are we doing? At one point, I was dying. Because Kat is funny in life. She's got a good quick wit about her. And I've seen that in her writing. And at one point, Noah's feeling really down and confused and out of it. And Charlie and Kate are like, we're going to take care of you, buddy. And so they're like, we're going to have a girls' night. And so, like, they go put on, like, their comfy jammies, and they tell him to go put on his comfy jammies. And, of course, what does he put on? Gray sweatpants. But he's like, okay, fine. They have ice cream, I think, they have popcorn, and they watch The Notebook. And they are like crying, and he's like, what the hell am I doing here? And then all of a sudden he realized like the movie kind of gets to him too. I was dying. And then all of a sudden Lex comes home because they're at Charlie and Lex's house. And he comes home and he's like, oh, they got to you, didn't they? He's like, come on, I'm going to take care of you. We're going to do a guy's night. I was dying. It was so good. The end of this book had me saying, WTF? What? What is going on? The best part is that I had Chasing Heartbreak on my Kindle already ready to go. So now we're going to talk about the second book, Chasing Heartbreak, which is book 6 in the Dark Love series. Okay, here we are. The book picks up 3 years later, and I was so upset. I was with Kate all through Chasing Fate. Like, I got her so much, and Chasing Heartbreak starts, and I felt her sadness. I felt her just making it through the day. I felt her turn off her emotions and focus on what she knows, which is her job, everything she has accomplished. She's kick-ass businesswoman. And so she focused on that because that's all she could do, you know? Kate has moved to Paris. So she is like out of sight, out of mind, what is going on back in LA. But she's not living in Paris. She lives in Paris, but she's not living in Paris. She is simply existing. I was dying because I was like, okay, let's go, Kat. Like, Kate deserves the best. Who are you bringing forward? Who is it going to be? I need her to be happy. Where is it? I had written off freaking Dominic in Chasing Fate. He popped up here. I was like, dude, you gotta go. Good riddance. She's by herself. She's lonely, and I felt all of that. I wanted my girl happy. Charlie, because she can't stay out of anyone's business. Oh, God, love her, right? I just loved being with them. I know I said that already, but I loved being with them. So she can't stay out of anyone's business. Her and Lex come to Paris because they're invited to this big party, a Marie Antoinette party. I don't know if it's a real thing. It sounds pretty darn cool if it is. But so they're like, you're coming with us. And she's like, ugh. But she goes, and lo and behold, Noah's there. He has come to Paris with Charlie and Lex, and they didn't tell her. And this is from Kate's perspective. The memories are playing like an old-time movie reel. Each scene brings on a wave of emotions, the same emotions which were buried since the moment I left the States and hopped on a plane to Paris. The familiarity and warmth rushed through me like a tepid ocean wave, calming my nerves and comforting me, much to my surprise. But Noah's stare deepens. The momentary calm is placed by a tight feeling in my chest and a blank expression I can't seem to shift. I heard you needed a date, he simply states. My head tilts to look behind him as if I expected someone else to be hovering around him. Eric's my first thought, but then I see no one besides strangers, and of course Lex and Charlie, brows raised as they wait for my reaction. I retract slowly, examining the man standing before me. It's been over 3 years since I last saw him at the hospital. The day I decided to walk away and start a new life. The same day he told me he loved me, yet in the same breath announced he was about to start a new journey. That moment was the final puncture to an open wound I allowed to be exposed for too long. Undeniably, I miss having him as my best friend, someone I grew fond of and relied upon during our time together. But something never meshed with us. We were great as friends, but nothing more. And no matter how I tried to ignore the said fact, Noah's admission sealed the deal. As for me, I did what I'd always done in life, moved on to a new adventure and focused on myself, closing the final chapter on that book. My stomach sank in that scene. Kat wrote it so perfectly. I felt everything she felt, and I was nervous because I felt like you broke her heart. Though they danced around their chemistry, there was something always in their way. But even as a friend, he broke her heart. Ugh, I was really mad at him. My heart was in complete turmoil, and poor Kate didn't really know what to do. She was like, okay, she's relieved to see him, but she's pissed. This is from Kate. And in just one night, all my worlds have come crashing down again. I'm back to 3 years ago, fighting my feelings for a man so unattainable and equally trying to maintain a friendship with someone else. They say you're supposed to be wiser with age. I'll argue that in a heartbeat, I'm back to the same old mess. The only way to solve the problem for tonight would be to enjoy the free liquor, the answer to everything. But denial will only get me so far. I've protected myself for as long as I can and created this untouchable side to me, which no one can reach. And deep down inside, I know my time will run out. Heartbreak is imminent. Oh, so this party has turned out to be like great, and yet not. And poor Kate doesn't know what the hell's going on. They drink too much. They party all night. And then this. In a sudden move, he wraps his arms around me in a tight embrace. As my face falls onto his chest, inhaling his scent, I beg myself not to cry in his presence. I can't even recall the last time I shed a tear. I'm not an emotionally driven person, and tonight has effed with my entire belief system. Remember when you told me we all make mistakes? He whispers softly. Just a mistake, Kate. Move on. In the time we were apart, I forgot what it was like to have someone who understands the pits of my soul, who understands my resistance to fail, and knows precisely how to make me move forward to do better things. Noah has always done this until, of course, I was pushed aside. Girl, oh my God. I was so protective of her and so emotional after, which this party's towards the beginning of the book. I was so emotional after that. I was like, here it is. Here it is. My confusion and a little bit like, what are we doing in Chasing Fate became crystal clear at this point in Chasing Heartbreak. Perfect title. Chasing Heartbreak. Noah shocked the heck out of me in this book. I didn't expect a lot of him. I didn't, but boy, did he exceed my expectations. I'm a Noah fan. I was not he wasn't even really kind of on my radar before I became a Noah fan. I loved how we got his perspective as well in this book. I didn't realize how much I needed it until Kat gave it to us. We do get a happily ever after at the end of this book. You guys, I was so sad it was over. And I know that Kat has gone on and written the Forbidden Love series, is it? Dude, of course. I mean, on my TBR, cannot wait to go read that. I love how she has written about the kids, because Charlie and Lex have kids, Julian and Adriana have kids, and a great way to stay in with characters that I love so much. Let me know which books in the Dark Love series you have read. I would love to hear your thoughts on them. 6 books, and now it's done. Don't you hate when that happens, when you finish the last book? It's very bittersweet. I would love to have you consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up. When you do that, it will help this video get shown to more people here on YouTube. My channel is growing. I'm having such a blast, and I would love to have you around all the time. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. See you soon.